What is going on, people? Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another stream on Staffy TV. Today, I got a guest for the first time. He's making his debut on the channel. My partner in crime, I should say, every Friday from Straight Facts, and I can easily say the only West Ham fan that I know. I was about to say the only West Ham fan I know in person, but I haven't met him in person yet. But he's generally the only West Ham fan I know. But that's the typical life of an American. You don't really meet a lot of fans outside of the top six. But I got my friend Lawless on today, making his debut. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, man, doing well. Good to be on with my fellow straight factor or whatever you call it. Yeah, you need to get yourself go down and meet the New York Hammers, man. I think there's a bar in New York where they all go and watch the games.
Oh, really? New York Hammers?
Yeah, New York Hammers. It's a fan group in New York. Yeah, man. So shout out to them. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, you have to just go there and you can say, yeah, I've met some West Ham fans in person.
I'll say Lawless sent me. See how famous you are.
Yeah. Say Lawless. Yeah, Dan Lawless sent you. I don't know if they know. They should know me. I don't know if they should know me or not. But if they follow West Ham content creators, they might. I had to backtrack that because it made me sound big-headed. When I said they should know me, I was like, "Oh shit, people are gonna think."
I'll see if you have pull in New York or not. I'll see that.
Yeah.
It's nice to have you. As I said, it's your debut. It's the first time on the channel. It's a recorded video. It's not a live video. So if you guys are watching this, we're recording this. Unfortunately, our schedules. This is the best time we could have made it. So it's before United even played against Fenerbahce. So United play Fenerbahce tomorrow. So I have no clue what's gonna happen tomorrow. We will be dropping this on a Friday. So if you're watching this, we play tomorrow. So I'm going to pretend we're on Friday now. Lawless, we play tomorrow. We're coming to London Stadium. I think we lost there last time, if I'm being honest with you. What was it?
Yeah, you haven't got the best record there. You know what? Considering that you played yesterday, Fenerbahce, let's be bold, right? And just pick a result and that you can base off of like, oh, man, we lost to Fenerbahce, or because we get to come back to when people see this Friday, they'll be able to say, oh yeah, Staffy thought they were going to win, or Staffy was negative, he thought they were going to lose. Like, what do you think? Because that'll be interesting to see.
Well, I don't know why I said tomorrow. Let's pretend today's Friday. We play on Sunday, so there's only a 2-day difference. So I can make an excuse right now and say that whether we won or lost against Fenerbahce, we're going into this game with no legs. Because I don't know if you saw, by the way, we're traveling with only 3 midfielders to Turkey. So I'm not looking forward to that. But based on the result, obviously, I'm probably going to do like a live after that, to talk about the game. But as of right now, I mean, listen, let's keep it Premier League. West Ham hasn't been a ground that we traveled well to in the last couple of years. I remember the Ten Hag's first year. I think we lost 1-0 when De Gea did that howler. I don't know if you remember. It was the Benrahma shot where he kind of he fumbled it. And then last year, I don't remember. We either lost 2-1 or 2-0. I remember it was Kambuala's debut. I think we lost 2-0. So we haven't been traveling well to your ground in the last couple of years, to be fair. So
Saeed reminded me the other day, the last time you beat us was when we brought Mark Noble off the bench to take the penalty.
Oh my God, that's like 4 years ago.
Yeah, that was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I think.
Yeah, the Ronaldo season. Yeah, that's when Ronaldo came back.
Yeah, so Lingard scored, man.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, now I remember that. Damn, it's been that long. See, I didn't even know that. I'm telling you, we haven't been traveling well to you guys in the last few years. But I'm gonna be honest, if we're keeping it based on this season and form, I know we don't look good, but Lawless, I tell you this every Friday. West Ham hype, man. You guys are so bad this year. I'm not gonna lie. Even you can admit that. Come on.
Yeah, look, we've not been great. I'll be honest with you, especially against the so-called Big Six, whatever. Like we've not looked great, to be honest. But I've seen little flashes. Like I don't feel like it's bad as it's been made up, but it seems to just be taking too long to get the identity. And it's the same way, obviously. Yeah, Man United, I don't look at Man United. I think we're on a par at the moment. I think we're on a par, like really and truly. We were above you, but obviously you've just gone above us now with your win over the weekend and our loss. So we were above you. So, yeah, it's disappointing, but I always thought there was a chance we could start slow. Do you know what I mean? Trying to transition. But I'm in an awkward situation now because what can I do? 8 games in, new manager. What can I do? I can't. I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, Lopetegui is done, and I got to give it time. I got to give it a chance, and hope it works out. You know what I mean? Otherwise, I want the next manager out, and I'd give the new manager or the last manager out, and I will give the new manager 8 games and being like, yeah, no, I've seen enough. Like some of our fans, it's a tough situation. It's like you like said, oh, what can I do? I just got to be Ten Hag in because we gave.
It's not even that. It's not Ten Hag in. I'm definitely Ten Hag out, but I'm at a point where I'm just accepting that he's probably going to see out the season. Which I get your point. I mean, it's 8 games in. I don't remember any manager ever getting sacked after 8 games after taking a new job. Probably the only one that I can remember was Frank de Boer. I don't know if you remember that.
4 games at Palace. 4 games.
He got sacked real quick, but he was horrendous. Was it 4 games? I thought it was like 8 games.
4 games, 4
No
losses
way.
in a row.
Don't remember that. I don't remember that. Yeah, madness. But on that note, but how disappointed are you with Lopetegui though? Because I know you said I don't think if I remember correctly, you didn't necessarily want Lopetegui, but you were willing to give him a chance. And here's the thing. I feel like it was easier for me to make this prediction because obviously I have no loyalty to West Ham. Like I'm not a West Ham fan, so I could say easily. I didn't believe in the hype in the summer, and I'll tell you why. I thought you made some good signings. Not all of them were amazing, but I think you made some good signings. But I looked at the manager, and I know how Lopetegui is, and I didn't think he was necessarily an upgrade on Moyes. I thought he was probably par with Moyes. If anything, Moyes has Premier League experience where Lopetegui, I mean, he managed Wolves for like how long? It didn't really count for much. And I just look at how stylistically he played football and the players that you signed, and I'm like, is he the manager that's gonna tactically elevate some of these players and make them play expensive possession-based football? I didn't really see it. If anything, I think he's misusing some of the players. And if anything, I could say the same thing about him that I say about Ten Hag a lot, where I feel like because of him, some of these players are looking worse than what they actually are. Obviously, not a lot of them, because there's some players that you have that I completely don't rate. But I think another manager who can play more expensive football probably gets the best out of Paqueta, Kudos, and Somerville. You have some decent bowlers in this team. Not all of them are scrubs, but some of them. But I mean, I rambled on for a lot. How disappointed have you been with this start with him?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I've been to a degree certainly disappointed, but like you said, like I remember I tweeted when it looked like we was getting Lopetegui. I was like, I said Lopetegui is not going to be a terrible appointment, but it's just not one that I'm here for. It doesn't excite me at all. A lot of fans jumped on me. I'm going to go back to that tweet to see how many of these people that are on Lopetegui out were the ones shitting on me for just expressing my opinion.
There you go.
Receipts. But at the same time, when he come in, I started to see some good signs in pre-season of how he wanted to play. And every player I've heard come out from Kudus, Antonio, like recently Carlos Soler, like all of the players have come out and said what he's trying to do and progress to a more attacking style of football. Like even Soler came out recently and said, yeah, we're just trying to adapt and understand how the manager wants to play. He's trying to transition from how West Ham were playing last season, which was very defensive, and try and bridge the gap to a more attacking style of play. So if I just take the player's word for it, which you take with a grain of salt, but at the same time, I'm not going to disregard it. Like, yeah, I've got some faith or some hope that is what he's trying to do. And we're just in this weird transition period to go from Moyes ball to a more progressive side of football. I don't think he's ever going to be like a Bielsa, Ange Postecoglou type manager of gung-ho football. But, from what he said, when he first took charge, he said, I'm not going to have just one way of play. It's going to depend on the opponents, So what you'll probably see is if it is a Man City, he may go more low block. Do you know what I mean? And if you play against Southampton, you're going to see more attacking football, which was always my problem under Moyes. I didn't want necessarily to be attacking all the time. My problem was it didn't matter who we played, we would be defensive. And I'm like, if you can't take the shackles off when you're playing Luton, then when can you? Do you know what I mean? So that was my problem. But yeah, I've been disappointed in terms of, like you said, certain players aren't looking as good at the moment. Like Bowen hasn't looked as good. Like, hasn't been his normal self. Paqueta is a shell of his former self. Some of that may be down to his case, distractions. Kudus on the left. Yeah, it's just he's still good. Like he's still good, but he could be so much better elsewhere. So yeah, we're seeing that a lot, and I'm just hoping it is this temporary thing. I was speaking to a Bournemouth fan, and Bournemouth is a slightly smaller club, but they were saying they had the same thing with Iraola, their manager. Like that transitional period, they went through a similar thing until it clicked, and now, like they're playing some really good stuff. Obviously got the win against Arsenal over the weekend. Super Arsenal League champions elects. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So that gives me hope. Like, and that's all I've got. That's all I can have, because if I go to despair 8 games in, I might as well write the season off.
No, I get you. I get onto you a lot, but a part of it is just like me bantering you. You know how it is. I mean, sometimes when you have nothing left, hope is all you have left. So I get it. And that's usually not a good sign, because I've been there for a while too, where I'm just sitting there. I'm like, well, I hope for this, and I hope for this result, and I hope for that result. Some of it could not be realistic, but I hear what you're saying, and all that. But I want to get to some of your signings, because you signed Todibo over the summer. You signed Max Kilman. I'm not gonna lie, I like those 2 players. Obviously, we were linked with Todibo. I would say we probably would have gotten him if it wasn't for the UEFA rule that we couldn't sign him from basically our sister club right now, Nice, because we're both in the Europa League. But that's how life works, and he ended up being a player for your team. He didn't really look good against Spurs, did he? I mean, last game he got skinned to Son. What do you make of the center back partnership so far? Actually, by the way, I don't know how many games has Todibo played. So if you want to tell me and people who don't watch West Ham week in, week out about him.
Yeah, I think Spurs was the 3rd game he started in a row. He got sort of slow burnt in, in the league. I think he started against Liverpool in the cup. So I think he started like 4 games in all comps. We had like the back line kept changing constantly, and it was Mavropanos as the starting centre back. Everyone felt like Todibo was going to be the guy, and he's come in and he's looked brilliant, except for that Spurs game. And I think once that own goal happened, that miscommunication with him and Areola, I think he lost his head. Like his head was just gone then, and you could see it. Like he just kept. When Son skinned him and stuff like that, I just don't think his head was in the game. But I think he's class, as well as Kilman. Like I'm very, very happy with that centre back pairing, especially what we had like last season with Zuma, with like no knees and all of that. We had Obano, who was 36, and it was an aging centre back pairing. It's mad, like you said, like if you didn't win that FA Cup, you probably would have got Todibo and be happy with him, But like I said, I've had people getting on to me. Oh yeah, Todibo. Like I said, it's one of them games, isn't it? Like one of them things happens. You make a mistake like that, and it just you're gone. Like you can't get that out of your head for the rest of the game. And that own goal killed us. I think it killed the team. So yeah, centre back pairing. That's massive. And I think like apart from the Liverpool game and the Spurs game, defensively, we've been all right. I just read thinking, 2 games we conceded 4 plus goals.
I could say the same thing. Those 2 teams killed us as well, 3-0 and 3-0. So
yeah,
those
man,
2 teams torched both of us.
It's for us. I think it's kind of similar with us and you. Like I see some problem is scoring goals. You see the attacking talent there, and you're like, why can't we score goals? Like we can't. We're not creating clear cut chances. I don't know if it is the same for you. I haven't seen as much of Man United so far this season. I've seen a few of your games.
We've been struggling to score goals as well.
Yeah, but we haven't been creating like clear chances. Do you know what I mean? That's been our problem, chance creation. And set pieces, we went from like one of the best set piece teams in the league to one of the worst. I don't think we've scored a single corner. It's mad. Like we're just terrible at it. Bowen can't take corners to save his life, but he's still on corners.
Funny enough, you scored 4 goals more than us this season. I don't know if you knew that. We only scored 7 goals. Yeah. I don't know if you knew that. We only scored 7 goals. I would say our strength this season has been defensively, even though we've gotten. It's crazy that I'm telling you our strength is defense, where we lost 3-0 to Spurs and 3-0 to Liverpool. but that's actually been our strongest point so far because we have 4 clean sheets in 8 games, is it, that we played? So we actually have a 50% rate at clean sheets, which is actually that's very good. If you can maintain, by the way, 50% throughout the season, it means you end the season with like what 19 clean sheets. That's very good. But our attack has just been very bad. And I think what you just said about your team is the same thing for us. I don't think we create enough. And
Mm.
we like last game as an example, we scored 2 against Brentford. But I'm not gonna lie, I don't think we did a lot. Like it wasn't one of those games where we're like, oh my god, how did we only score 2? Should have been 5, should have been 6. We scored at a good rate last game because we actually didn't create a lot. And that's why I see a lot of there's one strong similarity between Ten Hag and Lopetegui. Both of them are just very bad managers when it comes to the midfield. I think both of them neglect their midfield so much, which is why we both struggle to create chances. Regardless of the individuals that we have in our team, we should be playing better football, and the midfield should look better throughout the season than it did. And I look
That's a
at you, team.
shout.
This is why I call out, by the way, Lopetegui. I just don't understand how you should. You could potentially have a midfield that has Kudus and Paqueta playing, and a DM. I don't know who you think your best DM is. I think it's what's
Probably
his name?
Alvarez.
Edson Alvarez. What's the other guy that you keep saying? I keep messing up the other South American.
Rodriguez.
Rodriguez. He's pretty good as well. You can make a lot of midfield combinations. Yeah, I always say Suchek, and that's just an incompetence on the manager because he can't get you
Yeah,
to
our,
keep the
our
ball.
midfield is you hit the nail on the head. Our midfield is a big problem. I see that against Spurs, man. That's a big problem. There's no player in there that can pick up the ball, drive with it, really, you know what I mean, go from box to box or create or anything like that. Soler is probably that guy, but he's not been playing, you know?
I haven't seen much, and that's why I didn't mention him. But where'd
Yeah,
you sign
he's
him from again?
um
Somewhere in La Liga. I forgot.
yeah, we signed him from he used to play okay, where was it?
I'll tell you in a second.
Soler. Oh, PSG. We signed him from PSG, of course,
Oh,
wasn't it? Was
PSG.
it
I don't know why I said La Liga. I'm probably thinking of something else.
Yeah, because he was at Valencia and not that long before, yeah.
Okay.
But then he went to PSG. That was it. Yeah. So we loaned him, but yeah, like he could be that guy or Paqueta in that number 8 role. Do you know what I mean? I've always said I like Paqueta as an 8. I'd rather play him there than play here. You know, if we can fit him there, play Somerville on the left and Kudus in the 10. I think that's a good team. And then with
That would be
Alvarez,
your best midfield, 100%, because you can play a double pivot where you have your DM when you go forward, sit back a little bit. Let's say an Edson Alvarez. He can be the
yeah,
one that does the defensive duties a little bit. Paqueta can go up the pitch, and then obviously you have Kudus playing the 10. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Kudus is absolutely wasted on the left wing, and I think Kudus is starting to get frustrated. And you saw it last game. He that was UFC what he did. The fact that he kicked Van de Ven, and then I think he was trying to push Sar, and like he was ready to work everything.
Richarlison.
Yeah, he was moving crazy. He looked like he was ready to step in the octagon. That red card is complete frustration. And that's I'll be honest with you. That's when I start to think that a player doesn't believe in the team anymore and doesn't believe in the manager anymore. That's why he reacted the way he did. I understand you were losing, but it was more than just losing. That's frustration building up throughout the season. And he just finally, like, I don't know, he just let it all out last game, but
Mm.
it's not looking good. But how do you feel, by the way, about, I mean, kudos this season, obviously up until last game and the red card we just mentioned?
Yeah, like Kudus, he's still been our best player. Like he's still been the one who will make stuff happen on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? Like if anything's going to happen, it's going to be from Kudus. But we haven't seen him as dynamic as he usually is from the left. And it seems to me like we know his best positions on the right, but we're never gonna drop Bowen unless we play him up top. We need to try and find a way to get them in together. And then he seems to favour playing like Paqueta in the 10. Even though Paqueta, if I had to choose one player to play on the left, it would be Paqueta because he played there last season. He built the understanding with Emerson and they linked up well. And then you have Kudus in the 10. So for some reason, he's just persisting with it. And like whenever Kudus comes back, because we don't know, it could be 3 games, it could be 6 games if this thing happens, this charge happens. He better not be playing on the left again. That's damn straight. And that Spurs game was bad enough. And I get it. Like, it's a London derby, tempers flare. And boy, he's a hothead. Obviously, he's coming on. The guy's going for a tackle on him. That's a potentially could be a bad tackle as he's perceived it, kicks him. And then Van der Ven gets up, tries to grab him, and he gives him. Their players are pathetic. Man.
Did they confirm, by the way, how many games he's suspended for? Because there was rumors that it's going to be a few games.
Yeah, I don't think they have yet. Like, both West Ham and Spurs have to answer the charges for what happened. Man, if it's 6 games, man, that's devastating. That's devastating. The fact that we're losing for 3 games is bad enough, man. But 6 games, like, we won't get him till post-Christmas, probably.
Who do you play after us?
Nottingham Forest away, which is going to be a tough game
now.
Yeah.
Nuno Espirito Santo, yeah, you don't want to play that game.
That's what I mean. So I'm intrigued to see how we'll play, because I remember we had, I think it was Brentford away, where Lopetegui subbed off Kudus at half-time. Essentially because it was best for the team. Like, when he was playing Kudus was playing well, but the team wasn't really getting in. It was Kudus was thriving. So maybe there'll be more balance to how Lopetegui wants to play. But Somerville needs to step up, like, especially this weekend. He's going to be, and he's a left winger. Like, he's the only actual left winger we have. So
that's the signing I've been surprised with so far, that he hasn't really. I haven't seen much of it. That's why I'm confused. Yeah. I'm like, why do you keep playing Kudus there? Your best team will eventually have Somerville playing down the left, because you need to use Kudus either in the 10 or on the right. So the sooner you get Somerville adapted to this team and up and running, the better it is for your team. And that's why I've been surprised by the lack of minutes he's been getting on that left-hand side. I don't know if he's been playing in the cup or not, but from what I watched in the league, he's made a few like sub appearances. Has he even started a game for you in the league so far? Because I can't remember one.
I think he did start one game in the league. I don't know if it was Fulham or whatever, but yeah,
but even one game is not a lot. Yeah, it proves my point.
No, I think he started against Liverpool. Again, my memory's terrible. So he started one game. So I think he started a couple of games, but he's come off the bench. But every time he played, he's like looked really good. And I don't know, he just when the player plays well, and you're like, okay, now they surely get their opportunity the next game, and they don't. And it's frustrating because, he's good and he's a left winger. So I'm hoping he gets a chance, takes his chance, because we need him. Do you know what I mean? And it's going to be so interesting, the matchups. It's a shame because at Mazraoui, I wanted to see him. Like, that would have been a good, West Ham versus with him coming, since we were linked with him.
Versus Wan-Bissaka, because you were supposed to get him. Remember, we did that show together when the news came out?
That,
Mazraoui wasn't coming to you anymore. And I told you, listen, I don't know how much you like Wan-Bissaka, but bro, you can keep
it. If Wan-Bissaka, I'm telling you, if Wan-Bissaka scores or gets an assist in this game, mate, it's long for you, mate. It is long.
He's never scoring, bro. I'll tell you that right now. Wan-Bissaka goal is insane. No, bro. He scored like 2 goals for us in 5 years. He's not scoring.
That's why.
I thought you were gonna say if he locks up Rashford or Garnacho, I would be like, all right, that makes more sense.
Well, that too, but if he if he scores, I'm gonna celebrate that harder than I've celebrated any.
I know you're gonna call me too. Don't worry, I do watch along, so I know you're gonna call me. Feel free to call me. I'll decline.
Trust me. But yeah, man, like, you lot have got some injuries though, innit? Like Højlund.
No, Højlund is back.
Is he back?
He scored last game. Yeah, he scored last game.
Because I went to double check it, and it said he's out for. I don't know why Google said he's out for 6 weeks.
Højlund, no, Højlund is back. Am I missing something? Did any news come out today that I don't know of? Højlund scored last game against Brentford.
I put Højlund Man United, and people. How long is Højlund injury? Around 6 weeks.
That's probably when he was injured. Though. You're probably looking at old news.
Like
if
you
have injuries, you just got the wrong one.
Yeah, it probably is. But yeah, what are you looking at? Like, it's going to be a Højlund, Rashford, Garnacho front three.
I think he's going to run the same front three again. Yeah, it worked last game. He changed it a little bit. It was Garnacho on the left instead of the right. Rashford is a little bit more tucked in. Bruno was in the midfield, but he looked a little bit wider than usual. So he was like more towards the right rather than staying central up the pitch. So he made a few tweaks. Our injuries, I will tell you what our injuries are. The notable ones, at least that I can remember. Obviously, Mainu came out the news last week that he's about out for about a month, or like 6 weeks, something like that. So he's out.
Yeah,
Um, our only available midfield for the Fenerbahce game, that, as I said, that technically now when this comes out, it was yesterday. We only traveled with Ugarte, Casemiro, and Ericsson. Bruno being suspended though, he's not injured. So Bruno was out with that red card that he got. Remember when he got two red cards in a row, one in
yeah,
the league
yeah.
and one in Europa.
Oh
So
yeah,
he's gonna.
is he still out?
Was that?
Bruno, is he back or he's
So
gonna be
he's
available?
back. He's playing in the Premier League because remember they rescinded it, the FA.
Oh
So
yeah,
he's
yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
back. Yeah, he's gonna play for you guys. He's just suspended in Europe. So if anything, he's gonna be fresh against West Ham because he's not traveling with the team at the
That
moment.
always happens.
Yeah, yeah. So our midfield is looking thin. Our front line is all available, I would say, because we got Hoyland and Xerxes. We got Ahmad, who he's looking like he's falling out of favor with the manager now, which we all kind of predicted. Rashford is there, Garnacho's there, Anthony's there, but we don't really use him. We have a couple injuries in our back line, obviously, but like Shaw's been out forever.
Yeah,
Balas is still out. We have some injuries in our center back.
yeah.
I don't
You
know. I
had
saw the news today. I need to check it again.
the new
Evans
one you
might be
signed,
out
didn't
for
it?
one game. Say that again?
The youngster you signed, the new one you signed in got injured in preseason, right?
Yeah, yeah, Leniotto, but he's actually back on the pitch, so he's back on the grass now. So he's training. He won't be ready for you guys, but
No,
he's back,
that's
and
good.
yeah, yeah. So he's gonna be
I
back
didn't
on the.
think he'd be back this quick. Like I thought his injury was going to
Yeah,
be.
they're taking his time with it. So he'll be back. So Maguire is obviously injured, so we don't have a lot of center back options. The only thing that we've been good with is our right backs. That's why we've been using Mazraoui and Delo a lot. Last game
Yeah,
we had
but
to put
now
Martinez left back.
Mazraoui's
Yeah, yeah,
got the
but he
illness
came
now,
off the
isn't it?
bench now. So
Yeah,
he's actually
so
back. He came off the bench.
he's that because that when they made that illness sound, it sound bad, like he'd be out a while. So
Yeah, yeah, I was worried about that, but thankfully he was back last game. It was so confusing. There was so many news contradicting themselves, but he was on the bench. So he actually came off the bench, so he was okay. And as I said, Martinez, we had to play him left back. If anything, listen, if I could give you a predicted lineup right now, it'll probably be the same thing. It will be Onana in goal. It will be Dalla on the right, Martinez on the left, and we're gonna have Delict and what's his name. To be fair, we had Evans last game, so I don't even know if Evans is available or not because I saw rumors today that saying he might be out for a game or so. So that's the one that might throw me off a little bit because if he's out, it means
Evans,
Martinez is back in center back and we'll have to stop Mazraoui. But then our
Evans in
midfield,
2024 is mad.
yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. On skill alone, he's probably our best center back. He's just way too old. But the guy,
Mm.
I'm not even joking. Just on skill and ability, he's a top center back. I feel like people forget that Evans was a big part of the Fergie era. Like those last 3-4
Yeah,
years in the Fergie era, he was a big player for us. He's won Champions leagues.
yeah, that's
This
what
guy
I
used to
mean.
travel and play away in the Champions League, in the San Siro and games like that. Don't sleep on Johnny Evans. He's just old, bro. If he was like
Yeah,
10
that's
years
what I'm
younger,
saying. It's just
he'd be our best
mad.
center back.
Yeah, it's just a madness to me, like how long he's been. You'd expect him to be at like an Everton now or something like that.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. That's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
man,
Only
like,
on ability. But
yeah,
what do you expect your predicted lineup to be?
man, I expect. I don't think he'll change it too much from the Spurs game, apart from you'll have Somerville come in from Kudus. Like obviously, Fulkrug is injured, that's just been disastrous signing.
Oh,
Um,
really? Is he injured? I thought he was just on the bench. That's why I
no,
didn't
no,
know.
no. He's been injured since not the
Oh no.
last international break. I think the international break before that. I think he got injured, and it was supposed to be 2 weeks, and he hasn't been back since, and we don't know when he's going to be back. So we have like literally just Antonio and Danny Ings, and I just think it's a travesty, man. That as much as I love Antonio, like as one of the players that's played for us, like he shouldn't be starting it. Week in, week out for West Ham in 2024. Like it just shouldn't be happening, man. And he's probably going to start. We've got this youngster, Luis Guilherme from Brazil. We signed 19-year-old. I don't know why we're not seeing more of him. He looks like he's actually got some pace. We spent, what was it we spent on it? Like 20 mil? It was like 20, 25 mil on this young, like
Okay.
19 from, I think it was Flamenco. Was
A
it
lot of money
Flamenco?
for a 19-year-old.
Yeah, 19-year-old who's just been playing in the Brazilian league. Do you know what I mean? Like, who no one had heard of. Like, we went out and slapped down that money, and everyone's saying, "Oh, maybe it's because he's the next Neymar." Like, play him. Like, he's got legs. We need some pace in the team. You've got Antonio, who was just off it, and you got Danny Ings, who he scored that great equalizer against Fulham, and we ain't seen him since. Like, this is what is frustrating. Like, players can't ever.
I forgot you have Danny Ings.
Yeah, like
I swear I forgot that.
That's what I mean. Like, but I'm like, I look at it and I go, I've not been Danny Ings' biggest fan, because look, he scored 5 goals in his whole time at West Ham, which is like coming up to 2 years. But
yes,
he scored that great equalizer. Get him in. Like, the options up front aren't immense anyway, so get him in. Try and build on some momentum and confidence, and see if we can play to his strengths. And he's not that different type of player to Fulkrug anyway. So if we bought Fulkrug to fit our system, surely our system's going to suit Danny Ings, because they're similar players.
Stylistically, they play the same.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, man. But I think Antonio will still start. So obviously the back line is not going to change. It's going to be Areola, Wan-Bissaka, Tadibo, Kilman, Emerson, and then you probably have Alvarez. Oh man, if it's Souček as well, man. Something I don't know.
That's your McTominay. You can't get rid of him. I got rid of my McTominay fan. You can't get rid of yours.
Yeah, he's kind of like a McTominay, but not as good on the ball. But yeah, so I could see him still playing Souček and then playing Paqueta, Somerville, and Bowen. Yeah, like really and truly, and we can't keep playing. We're at home, like, so we need to actually get the crowd up for it. We need to take the game to Man United. Play some decent stuff. I'm so frustrated, man. Just thinking about it. Thinking about.
You sound excited for this game. I don't blame you.
Fans get onto me, like, say, "Oh yeah, you're always on Souček Antonio." It's like, because we should have moved on from these two players as starters.
I hear you.
I think they offer something off the bench. Like, Antonio actually looked so good off the bench against Liverpool, even though we lost that game like 4-1 or something. Like, coming off the bench, he's a problem. You know what I mean? He's a physical player. He's a threat. You got tired legs. Boom. Bring off Souček as well. Like, everyone compares him to Fellaini. Do you know what I mean? He's someone who's going to be more direct, get into the box, like headers, that sort of thing. If you need him to control the midfield, it's not going to happen.
Exactly.
So it's frustrating. That's why I keep getting onto them, because it's nothing to do. I just don't think we need to have Antonio and Souček in the team week in, week out. We should be progressing.
You're looking to move forward finally, and it's been a while. I hear you. Some of these plays have been there for a minute, so I'm 100% with you on that. And that's, as I said, that's a part of my criticism with the manager, because if you actually try to control the ball with some of the good players that you have, you can't be playing Souček in 2024. I'll be honest with you. But
yeah,
I mean, with that, let's just get to the predictions. Are you going to be at the game, by the way?
Yes, I'll be there.
I need you to send me videos when we score against you.
Oh yeah, like Man United score, I'm gonna be like,
you're sitting there like, guys, I'm sending a video to my friend. It's okay, stop.
Yeah, oh yeah, asking me to get my head kicked in. Everyone go, what are you doing? If we score, I'll send you a video.
You know what? Fair enough. If you send it on the spot, and I'll play it on my watch along. But with that being said, what is your prediction for
hopefully the Wi-Fi is working in the ground? But my prediction is we have to win this game. We have to beat
That's
Man
why
United.
I put must win in the title.
Must win, like, because especially if we lose, mate, it's not going to be pretty. The negativity is already there. Like, after that Spurs game, you can't lose 4-1 to your rivals and not respond.
100%.
We have to respond. I would like to say, yeah, man, we're gonna smash Man United like 3-0, 4-1, whatever. Like, but that's not realistic. Like, we're not scoring no 4 goals in one game. So I'm gonna say 2-1 West Ham. I do feel like we've got a good record against you, even though, like, new manager, it's hard to know if that record's going to be intact or it's going to change up. But we've got a good record against you. Must win. Your record this season away from home, has it been where you've been stronger, away or home?
We've been very bad at home, I'll be honest with you. We had 1 goal at home until we played Brentford, and so that was like 1 goal in 3 games. But our record so far, we won Brentford at home, Fulham at home, and then we lost to Liverpool and Spurs. So that's a 50% win rate. And then away from home, what did we do? We lost to Brighton, we beat Southampton, and it has to someone else missing that I can't think of. Who
Yeah,
else did we play away? Because
you
everyone played.
played.
It's 2 games. Oh,
Uh,
we drew with Palace,
yeah,
and what's the game that's missing? There's one game missing off my mind.
you. Yeah, Brentford,
Let me look
Villa.
it up.
You drew to Villa away.
We
Yeah,
drew to Villa. Yeah. So there you go. We only won one game away from home. So one game at home. Sorry, 2 games at home, one game away. It's pretty close. I mean, our record just
yeah,
hasn't been good anyways.
yeah.
We
So
only
that's
have
what I'm
4
hoping.
games.
So
Yeah.
yeah, like the the crowd. You know, what I mean, we'll be up for it. 2 o'clock Sunday, must win. Yeah, I'll give us 2-1. But it's one of them things. Like if you score first, I don't know. The crowd's gonna turn. Do you know what I mean? It's gonna get
Yeah.
could
So
get
what was your
nasty.
prediction again? You said what?
I'm gonna say 2-1 West Ham. 2-1 West Ham.
2-1 West Ham. I'm actually gonna go the same, but for United, I think we're gonna win 2-1. It's one of those laws. I'll be honest with you. Whoever whoever loses between us is gonna look and be like, this team has been so bad this year, yet they still beat us. It's just a situation. We're both gonna have the same response. You're gonna look at United, you're gonna be like, United been bad this season and they still beat us. And I'm gonna look at West Ham and be like, West Ham been shocking this season and they still beat us. Whoever loses, I'll be honest with you, is gonna look very, very bad because I'm looking at it as a must win as well. Because we just, besides the Fenerbahce game that I said, obviously we don't know what happened yet. We just won last week against Brentford. We need to build on that. You need to
Can you
finally
see,
put some
right?
consistent. What?
If I was gonna say, like, if we did beat you, could you see that affecting to like Ten Hag potentially being sacked? Because remember, like last Friday on Straight Facts, we was talking about Thomas Frank, you know, and we all thought that Brentford would beat you. And Ten Hag, as I put in the group chat, Ten Hag beat the man that you
That
was
was
all
good for
talking
his
about
position.
replacing him with.
Yeah.
And he's kept his job going because we all kind of felt like, do you know what, this loss to Brentford, that's probably going to be his job. Thomas Frank maybe will come in replace, but now has that reset for him and he can afford to lose this game, or do you think that will cost him his
No,
job?
I'll tell you what. I think regardless of what happens, and I'm probably gonna repeat that a lot this season, unless it gets really, really bad where he loses like I don't know, a ridiculous like 5, 6, 7 games in a row. I think regardless of what happens, he's seen out the season because I think he's getting sacked in the summer. Anyways. There's rumors that
Mm.
are coming out that we're speaking to Javi. Ineos are actually in Barcelona right now because of a launch for their cycling team, something like that. So they're already in Spain. So that's building up the rumors more because they said they spoke twice with Javi. So you don't know if they're having a meeting with Javi while they're out there. Who knows? All I know is, well, I wouldn't say that's what I know. That's what I believe will happen. That he's just getting replaced in the summer, anyways. So as long as it doesn't get super bad, because I feel like Ineos just wrote off the season before it even started, they're just gonna keep him because they're more focused on getting their next man and getting him in the summer where he's ready and they have like everything set and built for him, rather than just panicking getting someone in. You got to remember that we have Omar Barada, who was a part of a team that went to Man City a whole year before Pep came in. So he
Mm.
might be looking at it the same way. Obviously, in much worse conditions because City wasn't as bad as us when Pep went in. They were still competing for the title. I think they're just setting up the whole like structure for him before he comes in. So if the Javi rumors are right or any other manager is right, I think they're just getting everything ready for the next manager to come in. So I think Ten Hag is just he's just a placeholder for now. I'll be honest with you. So win, lose or draw, I
Mm.
don't expect much to change. You know. But listen,
Mm.
guys, we're gonna wrap it up here. Obviously, Lawless said 2-1. I said 2-1. We both are backing our teams. But I hope you guys enjoyed the show. And make sure you guys like the video if you haven't yet. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Lawless, you want to plug in your channel before we go?
Yeah, Lawless Live. You can hit me up on there, my solo channel, where I'll have my reaction to the result. So whether I'm happy or sad, I'm sure the Man United fans won't come across if I win.
I'll visit.
Yeah. You'll be hiding, but I know you'll be there if you win. So, yeah, come and check that out. Obviously, West Ham Fan TV is my other main channel. So
Check out both his channels. And I said like this video, subscribe, and you guys can find us on Fridays anyways on Straight Facts as
Yeah,
well. But yeah, as I said, I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and I'll see you guys on the next stream. Take care.